Test 1, 2. There we go. We're not going to make an event. Good evening. Hi, everybody. Welcome to our interfaith dialogue, and want to welcome back Imam Abdessamad Qesmi from Haverhill Islamic Society. A few logistical things before we dive in. There are no new faces here. You've all been here before, right? Okay, great. So I don't need to tell you a whole lot. You know where the bathrooms are. You know where the bathrooms are. You know where the love offering basket at the back there is. Y'all are good. The one important thing to note is at 7:45-ish or so is when the Imam will need to take a break for his prayer for the evening. Sunset prayer. We can get you the microphone. So depending on where we are in the flow of things, in terms of his sharing or your questions, we may take a little 5-minute break, is what you said all you need? Yeah, for him to go do that. Here's your microphone. And then we continue, or we may find ourselves at a stopping place for the evening, and we'll wrap it up then. I just want to let you know so that, if you see him disappear for 5 minutes, that's what happened. That's what happened. You didn't get scared or anything like that. That's kind of what happened. So let's begin with a centering prayer. So if you're comfortable, I want to invite you to connect with your breath and turn your focus inwards. Allowing yourselves to become fully present here. Releasing the day, releasing the worries of what's yet to come. And find in your hearts a place of gratitude. A gratitude for this community of faith, for all communities of faith that allow us to experience the divine in all its myriad manifestations. And knowing that in communities like faith, as we do so, we experience the divine, we become fuller, higher conscious expressions of humanity. For all this, we give thanks. and so it is. Amen. Amen. Good evening. Hello. So part of why the Imam has returned, if you remember, he was here last time, and we had a great interview, and many people said, hey, we've got to have him back. And then there were also many people who had tried to tune in online with the live stream. We had some technical difficulties. I do believe the live stream is working now. And as it goes with our live streamed event, this will be archived on our YouTube page. So if you ever want to share it with anyone later on, watch it later on, come back to it, it's there. So if you've never visited our YouTube page, go to YouTube, search Unity on the River, and like magic, there we are. So I just have a couple questions and things to launch our discussion. I don't know if there was any stuff you brought to talk about. We have a mic for questions. It's all the way over there. But at any, if you have questions at any point in time, yes, we can hear you without the mic, but the folks online can't, and the recording won't get you unless you go to the mic and use the microphone. So there's that. So the one question I had, not the one question, but
before
yes.
You start with the question.
Yes.
There is something I would like to share with.
Go right ahead.
Yeah. In Islam, the first thing we have to, share with when we greet each other is what we call Assalamu alaikum. Peace be with you. And usually the one who hears it, he replied back, wa alaikum salam, peace be with you as well. And in Islam, when I say this word, is like I am signing a contract between me and you, that whenever you are with me, you are in peace. Mm-hmm. So, assalamu alaikum all. I was really deeply thinking about today's, what to share, something what really affect me and affect my faith, and to share with you to know who we are, what we stand for. The mind, which is the most important thing as a humans we have. When I say about the mind, is the symbol of humans. What differentiates me from anything else in this world. It can be animal, or can be thing, or can be anything, is my mind. Because I have the right to choose between this and that. An animal would never, if I give him, the best of my meal and the grass, he will definitely go with the grass, because this is what he's made for. But if I give you a meal from McDonald's, and I give you a meal from one of the best restaurants in Massachusetts, definitely. There is no doubt that you gotta go with the best one. Because of your mind. That's what makes you special as a human.
There's some people who would choose.
I know.
Just gonna put that out there.
I know.
There are some people who would choose, beyond all reasoning, would choose McDonald's. Yes.
That's right. But this mind, the Creator has given to this creature to be able to look for the truth. But this truth, that mind has like some kind of, an end, or at the top of the head of the people, there is like some limits. And I would give you an example to make it clear and simple. All we are in this room together. Besides, we have no YouTube and everybody is looking at us. Imagine we are in a room and there is a door, that door is closed. Whenever a person came behind that door and knocked on that door, that every person in this room will not claim that there is nobody knocking on the door. Everyone will say, yes, there is a person who's knocking on that door. What stage are we going to differentiate? Is when we say, who is knocking on the door? He may say, I think it's someone, it's a kid, because his knocking is very, not heavy. Right? Someone else may say, oh no, I think it was a heavy knocking, probably someone really strong. I think someone might even say, oh, it's probably a woman. It's very nice knocking on that door. So we will all differentiate. We will not agree on one decision. You agree so far? So, to find the truth, to find who is behind this beautiful world. Because nobody claim, or nobody can claim, by being born in this world, that he is the one who created this. Either your parent would claim that, or grandparent would claim that. But there is no whatsoever that mind is definitely saying that this world was created by someone. Definitely. Because the chance of this world being created by chance is the possibility of being created by chance is almost impossible. Almost impossible. I've heard there's like 1, 2, a number, 1, and the zeros from here to the sun. That's how impossible can this world be created by chance. So this world has a creator, and this mind is made to know that there is the one who knock on the door, and this is the creator for this world. Now, we are pushed to use the mind to see, okay, you are the creator, show me that you are the creator. That's why the creator has decided to send all his beloved prophets, all these people who were chosen by the creator to be sent to humans to show who is this creator, what does he want from us, why is he creating us, what should we do for him, what is these bounties he has given us, what is the return from our side to be given to this creator. And each one of us need to find this truth. You are pushed to find the truth. You are pushed to go ask, because your mind will never leave you alone. Because that's how he made. It's made to give those challenges. He's challenging you 24/7. What's going on? What are you doing here? Are you here only for eating, drinking, having a life, sex, whatever? And then at the end of the day, what? You'll die? Is that the really reason we are here? Just to live like any other creature, just stay for a few times, whatever may be the case, probably a year, probably less, probably more, probably 100 years, if this is all it's all about? To live that time and then move on? I think it's a very legitimate question for humans to ask themselves and to find what it's all about, why I'm here. And I think me as a Muslim, I didn't believe in Islam just because of my parents. Okay, I was born in that Muslim country, but I had questions. I had questions, and people usually, you know those questions when you are especially a kid. Who created Allah? Who created God? Who created you, Mom? She never told me. So it's really a challenge. And as humans, either you are Christian or you are Jew or you are Muslims, we believe that we are coming from the same origin. Our father Abraham is the one who basically spread the world of the Creator, that there is one Creator we have to believe. And humans, nowadays, we are getting to the level of being very mature. Because if you go back, probably even 1,000 or 2,000 years, the maturity of humans were much less than we are right now. As you see, imagine you get someone 2,000 years back to now, and then you show him YouTube, or you show him a phone, what we are using with the phone. He will get nuts. He will say, oh, is it really the world where we're supposed to live? So it's a huge challenge we have, but we have a lot of, the possibility of knowing the Creator nowadays are much easier.
My mic off. Scientists, geneticists specifically, are supporting that. They're realizing that the questioning of what's beyond us is perhaps actually imprinted in our DNA. We can't help but ask this question of what is beyond us. It's as if this DNA imprint is the knocking, or us wondering about who the knocking is. When it comes to our mind, what maybe specifically does Islam have to say about, for lack of a better word, mastery of the mind and our thoughts? And I phrase this in the context of, in unity and many other traditions, the idea of watching our thoughts. What are we thinking? What's the consciousness with which we are generating our thoughts, knowing that our thoughts are perhaps the first step in creating our experience in the world. So there's many, and Buddhism is really good about this. They talk about mindfulness and awareness, being mindful of our thoughts. Does Islam have similar teachings around that? Constant mindfulness, observation of your thoughts, or in any way to help. And I don't know, control the mind is the word I want to use, but you know what I'm saying, I think.
Yes, and I think at the beginning when I mentioned about the door, that our mind has a limit. Mm-hmm. Has a limit. We can't tell on the person who is knocking on the door, how does he look? I can't tell if he's white or black. I can tell if he's old or young. Right. I can so many things I cannot tell about who's behind the door, but I definitely know that there is someone who's knocking on the door. So it's the same with the thoughts in our religion. There is like somewhere where you gotta stop, because even if you go further and further and further, there is no answer for that. And it will not help you either.
Okay.
It will not help, because you are limited in your mind of understanding. In the book of Allah, in the book of God, Quran, there is the story of Moses, where Moses in the Quran is described as the talker. He was the one who talked,
right,
by voice, to talk to the Creator, to God.
Speaking of talking, can we keep the mic up here so that folks can hear you?
Sorry about
that. That's okay.
So next time you get me same as you are. right?
Touche and well played. Yes.
So, and he asked God a question. Can you give me the ability to see you? Because it's all about seeing him. I can imagine him. I can have a dream about him. I can think further and further and further. But there is a limit. I cannot imagine the right how does he look in reality. So Moses, who was close to him, he was his prophet. He was, the closest person you may imagine to God. And he asked him, "Can you give me the ability to see you?" He said, "You will not be able to see me. But see on this mountain. If you are able to see the mountain, you will be able to see me." And when God tried to show himself to the mountain, the mountain was destroyed. And then because of seeing the mountain being destroyed, Moses passed out for who knows, for as a day or two, whatever, until he got to point. Qala subhanak. Oh Allah, oh God, forgive me for asking this question. Because you as a human, you have not the ability of getting to that level of seeing what's called the unseen. Because of how you are. It's not that Allah will not allow you to do it. Because we as a Muslim, we believe when we die, in the year after, we will be able to see God. We will be able to see the angel. We will be able to see all the beautiful things Allah created. Because we are now in this earth, we are limited. We cannot even go beyond this earth. The closest place to us is the moon. And look how many problems we face just to go that. Is probably what is how many seconds from here to based on the light speed is what, 6 seconds, I guess, Brother Idris? Yes, 6 seconds from here to the moon. And look at the struggle the humans have to get to the moon. How about 0.5 or just 8 minutes to the
Sun.
To the sun? How about now we are talking about 26 billions of years light. Nowadays we are talking about this number. It's an unimaginable number. This is just the creation. That's how can we talk about the creator. Mm-hmm. So there is a limit in our religion that you have to say, stop here. You cannot go beyond this because you are not going to go anywhere. And I think if you go beyond, you will find who? You will find the creator at the end of the day. That's how we see in Islam. I hope I get it.
I think so.
Extreme. You like to
I think so.
Okay.
So there's a similar story in the Bible about Moses, and God said to Moses when Moses asked God to show him, God said, "You can't see my face, but turn your head, and I'll walk by, and you can sense my presence." And I think, if I remember the story correctly, even that was enough to transfigure the face of Moses. He went blind for a while. This is the Bible's version of it, or his face was like permanently transfigured just by that experience, which speaks to me of, we are transformed both internally and in many ways externally when we really encounter the divine in such a way. So I'm loving the overlap, and you mentioned last time you were here. You also mentioned who was the guy that memory recall, man. Who was the guy that got Jonah? You mentioned Jonah as well.
Yunus.
Any other prophets that you can recall that are both present in Islam and
definitely
Christianity?
Definitely. In overall, God sent to earth. We differentiate in Islam between a prophet and a messenger. A messenger is the one who got a message. Either that message is a new message, like Quran, like the book of the Muslims is a Quran, is a message, is a book. The Bible, for the Jew. It's the Torah sent to Moses. So Moses, Muhammad, Jesus, Abraham, all these to us are messengers. But when you are a messenger, you are, by default, you are a prophet. But the prophets sent to earth, the numbers we have from the prophet is 124,000 have been sent to earth. And 314 messenger. Okay? The one we probably shipped together.
Hang on a second. So you're saying by default a prophet is a messenger?
That's right.
But
The messenger is a prophet, but the prophet is not a messenger.
It's not a messenger.
That's right.
Okay. So what does a prophet do that's different than the messenger?
It's nothing different than just to whatever message was sent, he will just keep delivering it. Or
Okay.
being a person good with character to show to people that what you guys do is wrong, and I'm here just to remind you of whatever the previous messengers have said. I need to remind you about it, and I am just basically an example, and
Okay.
it's like an idol to them to
Gotcha.
pursue. Yeah.
I understand.
Yeah.
All right.
So the names we have, the Adam
Okay.
is mentioned in the Quran, as he mentioned in the Bible. Noah. Okay.
And these are prophets or messengers?
These are. I will say everyone what's his status. Adam
Okay.
is not a messenger. He is a prophet.
Okay.
Noah is a messenger. Okay. We have the messenger called Idris.
Okay.
Idris is Elijah in
Elijah.
Elijah.
Or Enoch?
Enoch.
Okay.
And we have David. He is a messenger. His son Suleiman is a messenger. We have Zachariah. Zachariah is a messenger. His son Yahya. Well, I don't know in Yahya.
I don't remember who that is.
The son of Zachariah. What is his name?
I don't remember.
Oh, you don't?
Sorry.
We have Jesus, of course. And we have Moses and his brother Harun. Both are messengers.
Aaron.
Aaron.
Yes.
We have Abraham is a messenger. Isaac is a prophet. Jacob is a messenger. His son Joseph is a messenger. His 11 brothers, they became prophet afterward, but they never got the status of messenger.
Gotcha.
In overall, the name of messengers in the Quran and Prophet are about 25.
Okay. And it's interesting. So in the Bible, some of those names you mentioned in the Bible are called prophets. Some are not. So
Yes.
like, David was just king. Solomon was also just a king. Adam was first man, but in the Bible, they don't list them as prophets.
Oh,
So
really?
they're just these major figures who listened, I guess, to the direction of God.
Yeah.
Same thing for Noah. I think in the Bible and how we look at prophets, those who are named prophets are those to your point who reminded. They were the ones who spoke on behalf of God. They reminded the people and the kings at the time, what you're doing is good in the sight of God, so everything's going to go well. What you're doing is bad in the sight of God, and it's going to fall apart, and other people are going to come and take over the land and all that kind of stuff, unless you repent and go back to God's word. So the prophets were, in many ways, the voice of God, reminding the people of God's word and God's commandment. But
let me just finish this one.
Yeah.
What is basically the controversy is about Abraham himself.
Mm-hmm.
We believe that Abraham has two sons. In Islam, his first son was Ismail, which is in the Bible is called Ishmael.
yes,
Okay, and his second son was Isaac or Ishaq. Ishmael was basically born from
the maid Hagar.
Hagar, right?
Yes.
she was the maid, right?
Yes.
And the lady, Sarah,
His wife.
his wife, she gave birth to Isaac, I think at the age of 96.
She was 90. Everyone familiar with this story
Family?
for the most part? Okay.
So we believe as a Muslim, the ancestor of our prophet is from Ishmael.
Yes.
Because when Abraham was called to go and build his house, or the house of God, which is, we believe it's Mecca, the one every Muslim goes for pilgrimage, there is like a black cube. It's called Kaaba. That's where when I go for that 5 minutes, I may disappear and not come back. It's gonna be that direction I have to pray to. So we have always, every Muslim, whenever you pray to that direction. So Ishmael was there with his father, and he lived there until he died. And then he get married, and then from there, I think there is probably 2,400 years between Ishmael and Muhammad, as far as of the number of years.
So so you said Ishmael lived there with his father?
In Mecca, yes.
Okay, with
Hajar.
With Hagar.
With
Okay,
Hagar,
so his
yes.
mother.
His mother, yes.
But not so in our Bible tradition, Hagar and Ishmael were cast out from Abraham.
Really?
Yes, because in the Bible tradition, God told Abraham he'd become the father of many nations, and he said that's impossible because my wife is so old, and therefore the wife said, "Here, take Hagar, my maid, and have children through her." And then Ishmael was born, and then Sarah became pregnant and
That's
had Isaac. And apparently there was some like contention and jealousy between the two boys. And it was, according to the Bible tradition, it was Sarah who said, "You've got to send them away because, this is the illegitimate son, and I am your wife, and you got to send them away." And they were
Which
sent away.
still happen nowadays. If
Yeah.
any man married to two, it's
It's not going to work well.
not going to work, right?
So exactly. So when we read that traditional story in the Bible, there's not a lot of time that Hagar and Ishmael live with Abraham and the family. So
We believe that. We believe that.
Okay.
That when Hagar and her son, he took them to Mecca, which is, from Jerusalem to Mecca, probably I would say an hour flight.
Okay.
And he was a baby, and he left them and turned his back and left.
Okay.
And she asked him, "What are you doing? You left us here? Because you have to go to Mecca to see what Mecca is all about." It's nothing. Nothing there. It's, those rocks, ugly rocks. Those mountains are very dark. There is no whatsoever anything green you will like, no water, no nothing. And he left them there. And she asked him one question, which is every humans, I think, needs to ask himself. She asked him, "Are we leaving us here by ourselves?" He said yes. And she asked him, "Did God tell you to do this?" And he said yes. And she said a beautiful word. She said, "إِذًا لَنْ يُضَيِّعْنَا." He will not let us down. He will sustain for us. Because he created us, he is the one who is going to sustain for us. And that's what happens. He left, and I'm not going to go through the story of her and her son, probably at some point, but I can, we can go through it. But this is really what happens. He left them there. And he came back when the son was 14 years of age.
Oh, okay.
That's what our prophet told us. Yes.
They left that part out in the Bible. I don't think they mentioned.
But anyway, there are a lot of similarities.
Yeah, we
And
should.
we believe that we are coming from the same origin.
Yes.
And we have to believe that there is a creator. You pray differently than I do, who cares? But the creator is the one who created everybody. We need to believe in it. That's what it's all about at the end of the day.
At the end of the day, yes. So the question I always have, and I'm sure there is so much write-in literature on this. If we share that common ancestor, you know, where did at what point did the traditions develop that animosity towards each other? You know, do you have any thoughts about this? Because I know there's something that goes back, I mean, probably even as far back Crusades and beyond, but.
Of course.
But,
So there is one thing. We believe that Abraham is the master
okay,
of this religions nowadays. Why? First of all, in Quran, there is the story of Abraham in Babylon, which is
Babylon.
Mosul right now.
Okay.
It's in Iraq. He is Iraqi. He's an Iraqi guy, and he was the one who started to really use the mind, because in the Quran he got questions which every one of us has. He said in the Quran, he said, probably the moon is my God. But in the morning, the moon was gone. He said, well, it shouldn't be, because if this is my God, this God needs to be with me all the time. Then he said, probably the sun is my God. And the sun he said, the sun is even bigger than that. So probably this is my God. But after what? Sunset is gone again. And then he got to the point that he said, the God I have to worship is the one who is with me 24/7. He's not going to let me down. He's with me all the time. And I think that's where the maturity of the humans, of the humanity, starts to grow. And that's where his sons, which is the two of them, we believe they're both two, but most of the prophet came from the side of Isaac, which is most of the Bible. A lot of them, many of them. Okay, from that side, you got the Torah. Even David, he got books. We know that he got books. We called Az-Zabur.
okay.
And there is even the evangel, the Injil to Jesus. And we have the Quran coming through from the side of Ishmael. So all these religion, if you gather them all, they all go to the same origin, to Abraham.
Yeah.
Okay, that we differentiate in probably pray. I pray differently than you do. I fast probably different than you do. I do pilgrimage, different than you do. But we worship only one God. That God we will all go back to, and we will meet each other again in the hereafter in the heaven. That's I think Abraham was the main core, if you will, or the CPU of the of this religions. From him, it's every religion we live nowadays was coming from that origin, which is the Abraham. But humans, as we grow, as we go over the time, things start to change. Okay, sometimes in a good way, sometimes, or probably even in many times, in a bad way. The religions is there to give us peace, to give us happiness. But unfortunately, over the time, we saw sadness in religious group in the 19th as well, in the 20th century. We saw, probably from the Christianity side, many different groups were for the sake, or probably even before that, that for the sake of God, for Jesus. There are Christians who went to Jerusalem and kills in 3 days 70,000 people. That's written in the books of the history of humans. So that showed that, and nowadays we are suffering from some kind of dupe from the Muslims, that they are, because it's everything is based on understanding. If the mind is messed up, then you can probably get really bad stuff. You can get bad reaction, bad things, killing, for example, or bombing or terrorism. You name it. It's part of humans, but God didn't create us just to come and watch those people do whatever they want. It's always will be between each other, that there is a fight between the good and the evil.
Yeah.
And we believe that we stand in the good side, but how God will know that if I am good or not? By doing something against evil. That's where where I'm going to show him that I am really good. Because if you are good just for yourself and sitting somewhere and then pray all the time and then die at the end of the day, what did you do in this world? What is your message? Why were you created? Were you created just to eat and then probably free? No, it's a struggle, and that struggle needs to be all of us together. We are all of us together living this earth, and we have to fight the evil. The way we have to do it, now we are civilized people. We cannot do it all the time by fighting back with killing them as well.
Right.
We have to fight them because in many cases, even those kids who went to be with terrorist groups, some scholars from the Muslim side, they sat with those kids and they were able to bring them back to the right path. And that is what we have to do as far as communities. When you see something is wrong, do something. Don't stay calm, don't stay quiet. You have to talk, because this is how God will test you. Because this life is a test. If you compare 60 years to this long life waiting for us in the hereafter, it's almost nothing in comparison to the eternity, right? So when you get to the age of being responsible, so show us your responsibility, show us your love to the others. Try to help. Try to communicate with people who we think they are going astray. Because this is our job in this earth. I'm not saying it's going to be an easy task.
Right.
It is a very tough task.
Well, speaking of helping, I'm going to help keep you on time because it is about 11:45.
Yeah.
So
basically, we have here a person who came to Brother Idris. He is a Muslim.
Hello.
He is he was last year the president of the Islamic Council of New England. He was president of probably 25 mosques, and he's a very good asset to the Muslim community in this area. And he's coming to basically to see you guys, to meet with you and
Awesome.
know you guys. So I think in a minute or two we will, inshallah, pray the Salatul Maghrib.
Okay. Well, it feels like a good stopping point. Do you guys
Sure.
want to
We can probably
do
stop
that?
here
Let's
and then-
let's take a 5-minute break, formulate some questions that you might have for when they return.
Do you guys want me to come back?
There you go. You're coming back. And folks who are watching online too, we'll keep the live stream up, and you can, I think you can type in questions in the comment or the chat box there, and during the break, if any questions come in, we'll jot them down for you guys. All right,
See you
well,
soon.
thank you.
Thank you.
We're on pause, we're on break. Do you remember how to find your way back to the Peace Chapel or? Okay. 5 minutes stretch break.
rest of it, you know, you already heard about.
So what did he do?
What did he do? Abraham? He said he would take his son's life. But he just thought he would kill him.
Nice guy.
Yeah, but you know, we don't know what would have happened. You know, God is in there. God is very mean,
I know, and that's not.
force. Not man, force. He's a force. Extremely powerful. And he could be. Anyway. I don't know what would have happened. Anyway, that's the story. There you go.
That's kind of a leader in the church because I left a congregational church when I was a Sunday school teacher, and I had to teach children about Noah and the flood, and all that scary stuff in the second grade, and I thought, this is not my thing at all. All of this, like, horror, mayhem, and, I don't want to teach this to children. And I actually don't want to believe it. What kind of film? But. Yeah, this is,
I have one question.
Okay.
I think it's kind of fun. So I have to ask him. Let's go ask him. Not totally original, but most of my thoughts aren't totally original.
Yeah, I know you well enough that I know your question will be fun for at least you.
Right, at least I'll enjoy it anyway. Hopefully the rest of the audience will get it.
I think we'll be okay. Pretty sure you can handle yourself.
Oh, I'm sure you'll have fun with it. But it's a little, it's on a little river flat, you know.
Well, let me take two or three. My goal is to wrap up by 8:30.
Yeah.
Not to run past that.
I haven't had dinner.
Oh,
I came down from Manchester. This is like my plan. Never went to meeting.
I haven't had dinner either. I was supposed to, lay out something to thaw. My daughter to cook when she got home from bed. That was just texting me on the thing. You forgot to lay the thing out. So can I order food? Sure. Your choice. So I don't know what I'm gonna come home with.
Starter kid.
Yeah.
That wouldn't be, how could you get father of the year?
Oh, I never was in the running. Never in the running for that award. Never.
Some of my kids would be alone or something.
I don't know, that was something that needs to be
Yes.
discussed.
After we got divorced.
We should really have it in your mind.
She did a little stuff like that. I don't know. It just happened to slip my mind today.
Oh, yeah. Well,
But, you know,
it's not, that's not the whole thing.
life goes on. Hello. Welcome back.
Thank you, guys. Thank you.
All right, so I know we do have a question here to start the ball
Ready to go.
rolling. There you go.
We want to get it. Do it.
Introduce yourself and
Hi, I'm Rick Silverman. I'm a member of the church here. And, well, actually, not a member, a church goer, I guess, more accurate. And I also belong, or go to the temple at Newburyport and Haverhill as well. Anyway,
Emmanuel, I was last.
Emmanuel, yes, that's where I was.
Sunday there.
I was
I
bar
spoke
mitzvah in
there.
Emmanuel, yes.
Yeah, nice people.
Of course, the rabbis have changed, and they're about to change again over there. Anyway, my question is this. The Ten Commandments are very important, but perhaps the most important is probably the first commandment, right? You should take the Lord our God as your God, right? But a famous writer said, but only if it's done by the right people. What do you think about that?
I still didn't get the question.
I mean,
Can you
first
say it again?
commandment should only be taken by the right people. Is that right?
That's right. I th- My answer would be yes. Definitely.
You agree with it?
I agree, yeah, totally, definitely. The, the, the right people or the good people are the one who, first of all, most likely, a lot of people will agree that this is the right people or the right person to take care of the message. It's because every prophet or every messenger sent by God was a regular person, but he has some, every one of them was special in something that people did believe in him, but they at least saw some good characters, ethically speaking. That, for example, there is a study, it has been made by two people that are very known for management skills. One of them is very known here in America, as an American, his name is Kushner. And he did a study for about 25 years in all continents, 7 continents of Earth, where that study took place 25 years ago. And they finalized it in, I think, 2007 or 2008. And it was the question, what do you want to see in your leader? What is the most important thing you want to see in your leader? 100% of the people, they were saying the following. They will see that the person is a truthful person, trustworthy. That person you trust. Whatever came from his mouth is truth and only the truth. Truth telling. So credibility and truth telling. And every messenger sent by God that was known in his community by these 2 characters. Our prophet, same thing. He became prophet at the age of 40, which the appropriate age for the real maturity of a person. At the age of 40, you cannot play games anymore. It's really manhood. You cannot play. So at the age of 40, he was known in his early age in his community by these 2 characters. And every leader needs to have these 2 characters. If you have those 2, whatever you say, people will believe you, and you can lead them too. You can lead them as well. And they will trust you. Because everything is at the end of the day. If I can trust you, I will never, believe you. Is that fit you?
Any,
You know who the writer was,
and
by the way?
Huh?
You know who the writer was?
if you gotta use the mic, so if you hear you. Any other questions?
Real quick.
Anyone has any other question?
The writer was Bob Dylan.
Bob Dylan, the greatest, yeah. And while she's going, the response I would add to add to what you say about them being people, the prophets and the messengers and being people and humans with their struggles. When you look at in the Bible and you read the stories of people like Noah and even Abraham and David and Solomon, these examples of godly men who followed, they still had their human frailties and their human weaknesses. And for them, it was a journey of going through those and coming out on the other side of them as well, which is, which always gives me hope, gives me inspiration when I, look in the mirror at myself. Yes.
I really appreciate your talking so much about the mind and how the mind of God and the mind of man can be, looked at differently. Because unity and what my experience with practicing a mind training helped me to shift out of fear and come into an experience of awakening. Is that the goal of your faith as well, is for people to awaken to the truth of who they are and establish a healed mind in that sense?
Thank you for the questions. I would say it's a challenging one. Why? Because the IQ of people is different. Some people have their IQ very low, and some have their IQ very high. So when you get challenges, usually the smartest people, they are the ones who are getting to create more and more and more questions, and probably deep questions and even hard questions. So each person is different. But the ones who are going to give such, deep, I think every question is legitimate to me. And we have to give a thought about it. We cannot reject anything. We have to faithfully try to see what can we give. Because, as I said, probably the guy who is asking me is probably smarter than me, right? Or I am smarter than him. But at the end of the question is, we try to find a way to either that person will be satisfied, or if he's not satisfied, at the end probably I will be satisfied. So it depends on the situation. It depends on, but the faith itself, it's there to fulfill some kind of happiness inside of the person, to live in peace. But not every person will reach that level on, just like that. It probably will take time and effort and trying to find the right people who can answer that question. Because this is a struggle. This is a struggle. You may be satisfied with my answer, you may not. It doesn't mean you have to stop right there. But as far as, getting the in that faith inside of you to be satisfied, when you get satisfied, then stay there. You don't need to go beyond that. If you go beyond that, you will bring to yourself, because at the end of the day, we know that who knocked the door is there. He is there, and I cannot imagine how he looks. Then why I'm gonna get that trouble to spend such time to know just how he looks? It's not my ability of reaching that level anyway. So why am I making that effort? So stay where you are, that you know that he is there. And then try to do what you are asked to do to make your life easy, live peacefully and happy. You follow my point? And I think that's what every humans needs to do. I had my questions at certain time, and they were bothering me. But when I find the answer, I am trying to say to my mind, okay, stop. You're not going anywhere after this. It's not going to help me. It just give me just more trouble. And that trouble will give me just more trouble, and then I will not be satisfied at the end of the day. Why not just stop and then do something, whatever I am created for, is to help people, to do good for people, to do good to my wife, to my children, to my community. And I think that's the best way of seeing things about this. Is that? Okay. Hope. Thank you. You want to add something?
No, it's good. Can't top that. Any other questions? One question I do have, and this question was asked of me a few days ago on a podcast that I do, and I want to ask you the same question, then we can wrap up, I think, this evening. What gives you hope?
What gives me hope
Yes.
is that God is there.
Okay.
That we have Allah there. Because I always say, if you are really atheists, you will kill yourself on the spot. You agree? If you are really atheist, you have to kill yourself on the spot because there is no need for you to live in this earth. I live here because of hope. I hope I have, and hope cannot be defined in just one way. I have hope to live for tomorrow. I have hope to live peacefully with my wife. I have hope to see my kids succeeding in their life and being, happy. I have hope to see you again. I have hope that this world, at some point, will be in peace. I have hope that God will grant me heaven, But everything is based on hope. Hope is and I think is the best things a human can ever reach, is hope. Because without hope, we are nothing and we will be nothing. So hope is I think, is a way of life. Is really a good way of life, because of hope is this world can be good. It's not good now. We know we are keeping in the struggle, and I like what our prophet says. As the heart of the believer is between fear and hope. Why? Because he meant with fear that if you get too much of being satisfied and you have everything, then you think that you are the boss of the world. And that's what Satan has. This is the problem of the Satan. The Satan thought at some point, because of being so thankful to God before, he was the most important worshiper whatever earth has before, until God took him to live with the angels. But when he got the order of bowing to the human, he said, I'm better than this creature. I will not bow to this. I'm made of fire and he is made of dust. I will not bow for him. So if you don't have fear, too much hope can probably lead you to some kind of arrogance. You don't want to be in that status. You have always to be between fear and hope. I fear God because I fear God not because I have such fear of him. I can't even think about. No, that's not the fear I'm talking about. Is the fear I'm talking about here is that imagine just you want to meet a president of any place.
Oh.
How much struggle you will get to that place to meet that one. This is a person.
A good word for that is awe.
Awe?
Where we get the word awesome from. Awesome,
Right.
awe. That fear in terms of like reverence just deep reverence, adulation,
That's
looking
right.
up to us. Yeah.
That's right. That's right. So, that's to be able to meet with like a king somewhere, the richest guy, and it's not, when you meet him, you feel like it's not normal. It's not like you are meeting with some kind of normal person. Imagine you are going to meet with the creator of the heavens and the earth and everything. That's the fear I'm talking about. It's not the fear that you are, and that gives you hope. You know, it's like mixed things. And that's the way I live my life. And I hope, again, I hope that God will forgive us. I hope that God will give us, will grant us all. I think all humans deserve, especially the one who believe in him, deserve to go to the heaven. We wish to be among them, because I think, and I believe strongly, that as we did meet here, we will be able to meet in the hereafter. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, and we look forward to meeting you again here sometime in
Just
the
give
future.
me that instead of taking
We will,
this.
we will get you one of these. Absolutely, we will do that. I just want to make sure, no, we don't have any questions from the live viewers. So thank you again for coming to spend your time with us
It was
and
my pleasure.
expand.
Really, I am very happy to
Am I-
be here. I'm looking forward to come again, and probably I will get 10, 20 people from my congregation to come and see you guys here.
Absolutely, that would be wonderful. And thank you guys for coming this evening, and thank the online watchers. And
Thank you, everybody. Have a good night.
that's it. Thank you.